Magandang hapon, magandang umaga, magandang gabi, o magandang araw sa inyong lahat na nakikinig, nanonood ng ating Mach 7 presentation for the general info. So, I am Jerome Abao and ako yung magra-rationalize ng 1 to 30 items general information para sa inyong final exam. And to remind you, sir, ma'am, some of the questions are you have encountered, no, sa mga previous meeting natin. Imagine 25 days. So yung iba nito is binalik namin in a sense that the actual exam for the NAPOLCOM recycling some of the questions. So ang tansya natin is sana marami yung ma-encounter nyo nito during the actual exam. So anyway, it's the purpose na mag-review tayo, and it's the main purpose sa mga review center na makapag-provide kami. Kung hindi man siya word for word na questions, at least malapit dun sa lalabas. Okay, so let's do this as fast as we could dahil may pa tayo, 120 items pa. Okay, so question number 1 agad. The pillar of the Philippine Criminal Justice System, or the PCGS, which is tasked, wait lang, let me change this one. So it is that is tasked to prevent and control crimes, enforce laws, and effect the arrest of offender is what? So community, law enforcement, corrections, prosecution, and court. So these 5, sir, ma'am, are the pillars, no? Pillar of the criminal justice system. So first, bago natin sagutan yan, let us discuss in very short. Anyway, sorry sa background natin kung medyo maingay, wala kasi tayong mic na nagagamit. The Philippine Criminal Justice System, so what it is, may natanong din kasi minsan about sa Philippine Criminal Justice System. So pag ma-encounter nyo, ito po yung tanong na yun. Tanong doon is, it is the machinery of the government that is tasked with enforcing laws, educating crimes, and correcting criminal behavior. So that is the Philippine Criminal Justice System. So what are the 5 pillars of the criminal justice system? So first, syempre, meron tayong malaki pala ito. Sobrang nalaki naman. So, palitan na muna natin. So, first is we have the law enforcement. Anyway, masyadong malaki lang ata itong natin. Baka hindi magkasya. So, palitin mo natin. So, first is we have the ulit, sir. Law enforcement. So, ano ba yung law enforcement natin? Under sa law enforcement natin, ma'am, syempre, yung PNP. Ano pa? National Bureau of Investigation, BI, Bureau of Investigation, PDEA, and the ang tawag doon, PNP ECG, or yung PNP Anti-Cyber Crime Group, no, yung nag-investigate sa cybercrime. Syempre, basta sa law enforcement, sir, ma'am, ano po yung main role nila? Investigation and arrest. Yan yung pinaka rule nila. Alright, so next sa law enforcement, of course, is the pillar number 2, prosecution. Ano ba si prosecution, sir? Pag sinabi natin prosecution, ang main role po ni prosecution is case filing. So sila yung nagfa-file ng case. Alright? So under sa prosecution, diyan natin makita sila ni, syempre, yung NPS, National Prosecution Service. Now, under siya sa Department of Justice na nagkakandak ng mga preliminary investigations, yung nagpo-prosecute ng mga kaso. And dito rin makita natin yung Office of the Ombudsman. So pag sinabi nating Ombudsman, sila yung mga prosecutes yung mga corrupt government officials. Okay? Corrupt and corruption, yan yung specialty ng Ombudsman. And then, syempre, dito din natin makita yung PAO, no? Yung Public Attorney's Office na nagpo-provide, sinabi nga doon kung sa, di ba, binabasa sa tuwing may subpoena na kung hindi ka makakapag-provide ng abogado, magpo-provide ang gobyerno. So dito sila kukuha sa PAO. Alright, so pillar number 3, court, no, or also known ng court, is the center of the Philippine criminal justice system. Pag court, syempre dito yung nag-judge, trial, or let's say adjudication. Dito yan nangyayari sa court natin. So, under sa court, syempre, yung Supreme Court natin. Pag sinabi nating Supreme Court, sir ma'am, sila po yung pinaka-highest court of the land, highest judicial body. Tinatanaw niya yung lahat ng mga korte sa Pilipinas. So, ano sakop niya? We have the Court of Appeals, the RTCs, the MTC, METC, ano pa? Ano mo tawag doon? Municipal, basta meron pa. Under yan sila. Yan yung mga first level court natin. First level, second level. Alright? And of course, din, syempre, yung Sandigan Bayan. Sir, ano ba si Sandigan Bayan? And ano naman si Ombudsman? Si Sandigan Bayan, sir ma'am, yan po yung court ng Ombudsman. Ibig sabihin, yung mga nililites na mga corrupt government officials, dito nila dinadala sa ating Sandigan Bayan. Si MTC naman, hinandle niya is yung mga minor offenses. Okay, pag sinabi naman nating RTC, yan yung mga serious crimes. Okay, so si Court of Appeals naman, nire-review nila, sir ma'am, yung mga decisions ng ating regional trial court. Kaya yan, nagiging third level. And si Supreme Court naman, yung highest level natin. Okay, so pillar number 4, corrections. So, pagpasensyahan nyo na yung sulat natin. Pag sinabi natin corrections, anong tawag dyan? Imprisonment. Siyempre, imprisonment and rehab. Okay? So, ano ba yung under na mga agencies under sa corrections natin? Of course, dito natin makikita yung Bureau of Corrections. Nag-manage sa mga national prisons. Alright? Pag sinabi natin Bucor prisons, dito rin natin makita yung BGMP. Ano ba yung BGMP? Manage yung mga jails natin. Bukod dyan, ano pa ang ino-offer ni corrections? Nag-offer din sila ng mga parole and probation administration, and then yung Commission on Human Rights natin. Siyempre, nakaloob siya dyan sa corrections natin. Kaya nga kung mapapansin nyo sa latest event natin, issues natin, na yung Commission on Human Rights sila yung na forefront talaga sa pag palitis kay former President PRRD. Former President PRRD pa. Sobrang redundant, sir. Okay, next, syempre, yung CHR, minumonitor din nila yung mga prisons. Wala bang nalalabag na karapatang pantao. And then, the last pillar natin, sir ma'am, is yung community. Pag sinabi natin community, pinaka-K-term natin dyan, na tanong nito minsan, reintegration. Pag may reintegration sa tanong, of course, ang sagot natin dyan is community na agad. Okay? Sino ba yung under sa community? Sino ba yung nagmamanage dyan? Yung mga LGU natin, the SWD, the Dangerous Drugs Board, yung DDB, and yung mga NGOs naman. Okay? Yung mga non-government organizations. Yan yung sagot natin. Okay, so ulitin natin na ano yung 5 court. So, law enforcement, prosecution, court, corrections, 5 pillar, and community. Balikan natin yung tanong. The pillar of the Philippine criminal justice system that is tasked to prevent and control crimes. Prevent. Ibig sabihin, nasa first phase pa lang siya ng criminal justice system natin. Okay? So, that is the law enforcement. So, kung hindi nyo ito nakuha, mahirap yan. Pero kung nakuha nyo to, may 1 point na kayo. Each of these 5 pillars play a vital role in the administration of justice, and as such, their interplay and cooperation is most necessary for the proper functioning of a criminal justice system. So, i-compare natin, sir ma'am, yung criminal justice system dun sa ibang bansa, lalo na sa US, is 3 pillars lang, no? Abang sa atin sa PH po is 5 pillars yan. Alright, so next question. Which of the following has the administrative control and operational supervision over the PNP? So, tandaan nyo ito, or be careful with this, sir ma'am, kasi yung sagot natin, yung sagot ng iba pala, is Department of Interior and Local Government, which is wrong. Bakit? Administrative control and operational supervision over PNP. So, that is NAPOLCOM po, National Police Commission, yung tamang sagot natin dyan. Okay, for number 2, National Police Commission or NAPOLCOM. So, ano ba yung NAPOLCOM? NAPOLCOM course function, under sa NAPOLCOM, sila yung nagpapatubad ng mga police recruitment and promotions. Syempre, itong kinakandak natin na PNP entrance exam, administered ito ng NAPOLCOM. Disciplinary oversight sa PNP, yung mga maling ginagawa ng police personnel natin. Policy making, seats training, promotion, and the professional standards for PNP and advisory role. Assist the President and DILG on police matters. Okay. So, meron tayong timeline, yung kaganapan, history ng NAPOLCOM natin. So, in year 1996-1972, under yung NAPOLCOM natin sa Office of the President. Okay, it's a time of former President Marcos Sr. Ano ba yung basis natin dyan? Dyan na-create yung RA 4864, 1966 yan. So, it created as an independent commission chaired by the President. Tapos, pagdating ni 1972 to 1990, nilipat ito sa Ministry of National Defense, MND, which is dito rin nabuo yung Philippine Decree. During martial law na talaga to. Ito, pre-martial law era. Ito, during PD 765, integrated with the PCINP. Okay? Dito, nangyari is meron tayong Philippine Constabulary and INP, Integrated National Police. And in the 1991 in present naman, dito yung nangyari yung EDSA Revolution, which is na-create dito yung DILG or yung RA 6975, creating the Department of Interior and Local Government na gumawa mismo ng PNP, BFP, and BGMP. So, dito nabuo yung Tri-Bureau na sinasabi natin. Okay, and then, nangyayari dito, yung NAPOLCOM is, hindi na siya under ng MND, hindi na siya under ng President, kundi within, okay, ng DILG na sila. So, separate na talaga sila. Okay, so, hopefully, no, na-discuss din natin to ni Ma'am Grace for sure sa, past topic natin sa general information. So, this is, final coaching na. So, I assume, na alam nyo na ito. Alright? Okay, so next question. Number 3. The power to legislate laws is vested in the Congress of the Philippines, which consists of legislative and executive, Senate and House of Representatives, Congressmen and sectoral representatives, Senate and Executive, Judiciary and Executive. So, sir ma'am, ang correct answer nito is number 2. Senate and House Representatives. Si Congressman kasi is, pag sinabi natin Congressman pala, under dyan yung Senate natin and yung mga Representatives. Okay? Pag sinabi, kasi natin, nakalakihan kasi natin, pag sinabi natin Congressman, yung tumatakbong congressman. Pero pag sinabi po sa batas na congressman, sila po yung Senado and yung representatives. Alright? Kasi sila yung Congress, the legislative department. So, the Philippine legislative system, Article 6, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution, the legislative power shall be vested in the Congress of the Philippines, which shall consist of the Senate and the House of Representatives. Okay, so divide lang natin yung dalawa. Explain na natin konti ano yung difference ni Senate and House of Representatives. Okay, so palakihin na natin. Senate and House of Representatives. Ganun na lang. Oh, naliit lang pala yung natin. Sulat natin. Edit lang natin konti. House of Representatives. Okay. Explain natin ng konti. Kayo na bahala dyan sa sulat ko. Okay. So, ito, dalawa, sir, mama. Ito yung tinatawag natin na Congress. Si Senate and si House of Representatives, which is Congress, under siya ng legislative department natin. Kasi tatlo yan tatlong branch yung government natin. The legislative, executive, and judiciary. Pag executive po, president. Pag judiciary, court natin. Supreme Court yung nangunguna dyan. So, Senate, sir ma'am, sila yung tinatawag natin na upper house. Habang ang House of Representatives naman lower house. Pamunuan si Senate, ni Senate President, which is si Cheese Escudero, or mas kilala siyang Cheese Escudero, pero yung totoong pangalan niya is si Francis Joseph Cheese Escudero, or Francis Joseph Escudero for short. Abang si lower house naman, as of now, mumunuan siya ni Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, or Martin Romualdez for short. Tingog party list. Ano ba yung composition? Si Senate natin, sir ma'am, compose siya ng 24 senators. Okay, which is by 12 elected siya nationally, no, tag 6 years yung max ng term nila. Habang ito, si House of Representatives naman, compose siya ng iwan ko na kung ilan ngayon, basta nasa 250 plus, and then sa 250 plus na yan, 80% is representatives, habang 20% is party list. Okay, yan ang tandaan, yan yung tandaan natin. Okay, ito yung hindi representative, kasi representative yan silang dalawa. Ito po is yung district representative, yan kulang yung natin. So district representative is 80%, habang 20% naman yung sa party list natin. Tapos yung term nila is 3 years lang. Okay, habang ito is 6 years. Ano ba yung purpose, sir ma'am, ni party list system? So, si party list kasi, yung purpose niya is nire-represent niya yung mga marginalized sector. Halimbawa, yung mga labor natin, farmers, no, yung mga guro, ganun. Yung nire-represent nila. Pero nangyari kasi ngayon, yung kontrobersya ngayon is nangyayari, ang ginagawa sa party list system is that some of the political dynasties is dyan sila namumuhunan sa party list system. So hindi ko na lang sasabihin kung ano, just like Tingog party list, Akbayan. Sorry. So dyan kasi kumbaga example natin sa party list system, sa Tingog party list, for example lang, I'm not dissing the party list. Sa Tingog, 'di ba, si Martin Romualdez is tumakbo siya bilang representative din. And then siya rin yung may hawak ng Tingog party list, which is 2 seats yan or 3 seats per party yan. So sa isang party list, 3 sila makakaupo niyan sa lower house, no? Anyway, hindi naman yan party ng natin. Dito na tayo sa nila, age requirement ng mga later na natin yan pag-usapan. Sa yung edad naman, qualification natin dito, pag tatakbo kang senador, dapat ikaw ay natural born Filipino citizen, normal. Tapos not less than 35 years old. Okay? Habang pag House of Representatives, sir ma'am, dapat ikaw ay 25 years old. Okay? Not less than 25 years old, and of course, not less than 21 years old para sa party list system. Okay, 25 po para sa district representatives, habang 21 naman is para sa ating party list, not less than. Okay? And syempre, bagay dyan is literate, a registered voter, and of course, a resident in the Philippines for 2 years. And dito naman is dapat 1 year ka dyan sa district na nire-representa mo para dito po. Okay, yan yung mga qualification nila. Anyhow, direct na tayo. Okay, meron pa pala ito. So, pag sinabi nating legislative department, actually dalawa yan kasi. So dati nagamit natin is unicameral. This is during the under Marcos. Pero ngayon, currently, is bicameral system na tayo. Sinunod natin, dahil yung 1987 Constitution talaga natin, originally, is naka-base tayo sa US model. Okay? So, aspect, ano ba yung kaibahan ni unicameral and the bicameral? Si unicameral po, single chamber lang. Isa lang, no? Walang lower house, walang upper house. Pero dito, is dalawa siya mismo. Senate and the House. Advantage lang ng unicameral natin is pag merong batas, direct siyang ipapasa Bakit? Kasi wala nang dalawang house na magsasala doon. Okay? Pero dito kasi, sa bicameral din, is check and balance. Yan yung nangyayari. Disadvantage naman, risk of tyranny of the majority dito is lower process. Kasi nga, marami ka pang dadaanan. Okay? Dito, pag majority, wala na. No? Pag hindi gusto ng majority, wala na. Abang dito is pwede pa siyang masalba doon sa kabilang house. Okay? So, yun lang. Number 4. Okay, number 4 pa pala tayo. Ilang oras na ba to? It is hereby declared the policy. Ito, bumalik din to. Last, siguro naka 5 times, 6 times na ito. So, it is hereby declared in the policy of the state to establish a blank police force which is blank in scope and blank in character, administered and controlled by National Police Commission. So, dito, mayroon ng explanation. Ang tamang sagot natin dito, sir ma'am, is option ACA. No? Highly efficient and competent police force. Dito yung A. Which is national in scope. C. And civilian in character. Okay, bakit ba sinabi natin civilian in character? So, Section 6 in the Article 16 of the 1907 Constitution, the state shall establish and maintain one police force which shall be national in scope and civilian in character to be administered and controlled by the National Police Commission. Okay, tandaan natin na administered and controlled by the National Police Commission, hindi po DILG. So, why PNP became a civilian in character? So, ito yung tanong natin. It is a constitutional mandate. It is a non-military command. Kasi nga, binuwag, yung PCINP natin is naging PNP. Which is yung PCINP kasi is may, may halong, AFP. Pero dito nangyari is binuwag siya. Hindi na siya military, kundi civilian command na siya. PNP is headed by a civilian president. O kaya siya mas naging civilian in character dahil yung namumuno nito is yung president natin, which is not military, and supervised by the National Police Commission, a civilian body. PNP members are subject to civilian courts. So kung may nililitis na membro ng kapulisan natin, doon siya, no, sa civilian courts, hindi sa mga military tribunals, kasi yung AFP natin meron silang sariling tribunals. The jurisdiction over crimes committed by the PNP members involves a mix of civilian courts and specialized disciplinary bodies. Ano ba yon? Yung IAS and yung pleb. So ano ba yung IAS and pleb na yan? Okay. So, yung IAS natin, sir, ma'am, yung tinatawag natin na Internal Affair Service. Ito po yung watchdog, pinakaano na lang key-term natin dyan, watchdog ng PNP natin, no? Created siya under the 8581. Ano ba yung jurisdiction niya? So, investigate siya ng mga administrative offenses, gaya ng abuse of authority ng isang police, and nag-recommend siya ng mga penalties natin, gaya ng suspension, dismissal, or depende sa case. Kaya ano naman yung pleb? Yung pleb naman is yung People's Law Enforcement Board. Pleb. Ano naman si pleb? Tandaan nyo ito si IAS is nanto minsan, it's the watchdog of the PNP. Okay? And then disciplinary mechanism. Yan din siya. And People's Law Enforcement Board, ito naman yung civilian oversight body. Yung pinanguluan ito ng mga officials natin, elected, yung mga honorable natin, alam mo, si Mayor. So, kasali siya dyan. Okay? Ano ba yung kaibahan? Pag sinabi nating IAS, Internal Affairs Services, internal PNP investigations. Ibig sabihin, sila ni NAPOLCOM, PNP, sila yung loob nandito. Habang sa People's Law Enforcement Board, sila yung mga external civilian complainants. Yung isang kagawad sa munisipyo natin, isa si Mayor, sila yung kasama dyan sa pleb na yan. Okay? So, tandaan nyo si IAS po, watchdog. And then, disciplinary mechanism within the PNP. Baka matanong yan ulit. Okay? So, next question, number 5. Under the 1987 Constitution, which of the following aims to prevent any person or class from being singled out as a special subject of hostile or discriminating legislation? So, option, due process of law, Human rights, equal protection of law, justice, or constitutional law. So ano ba yung tamang sagot natin dyan? According sa Article 3, Section 1 ng ating Constitution, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. Basahin natin ulit yung tanong. Under the 1987 Constitution, which of the following aims to prevent any person or class from being singled out as a special subject of hostile or discriminating legislation? Tawag po natin dyan, tamang sagot po natin dyan, sir ma'am, is not due process of law, kundi number 3 po, equal protection of law. Okay? Ano ba kasi yung purpose niyan? It prevents, the equal protection of law naman, naka-state talaga siya dito sa Article 3 natin na nandito, no? Nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. It prevents yung mga discriminatory laws, yung mga specific individuals or groups unfairly. Walang mayaman, walang mahirap, walang mataba, walang mapayat, walang mabait, walang masama sa batas natin. They must all be treated fairly po, sir ma'am. Okay? Discriminatory laws. Ano ba kasi yung ibang options? Pag sinabi kasi natin, sir ma'am, na due process of law, it ensures lang yung mga legal procedures lang kasi yan eh. So, pag due process po, due process, legal processes lang yan, sir ma'am. Pag sinabi naman natin human rights, pag human rights po, ito yung mga hindi, of course hindi naman siya kasali dito kasi napaka-broad ng human rights natin. So hindi lang siya para dito, no? Para dito sa certain tanong na yan. Pag sinabi natin justice, of course, that is the general principle. Hindi naman siya constitutional guarantee. Gaya nitong sa human rights na tanong kasi natin is yung mga constitutional clause po sa purpose ng question na yan. The constitutional law, the body of law itself, not a specific safeguard. Pag constitutional law kasi, marami yung laman na constitutional law natin. Sorry for that. Okay, so tamang sagot natin for number 5 is option 3. Next, question number 6. Ito. The first Philippine Constabulary Chief appointed on December 1917 was... Sorry. The first Philippine Constabulary Chief appointed on December 1917 was Rafael Crame po. First Philippine Constabulary Chief. Okay, pag sinabi naman nating first Philippine Constabulary Chief, Henry Allen yan. Okay, so sagot natin for number 6 is 3. Ano ba kasi? Okay, okay, pwede naman siguro. Let us discuss very short lang yung mga kaganapan or timeline. So, gawa na tayo dito. Timeline sa history natin. So, 1901, ano pong nangyari dito? Ito yung ginawa yung PC natin, which is Henry Allen as the first PC chief. Okay? So, ito yung kasagsagan ng pagsakop ng mga American dito sa bansa natin sa Pilipinas. So, gumawa sila ng Philippine Constabulary tasked sa pag-suppress ng mga rebellions and maintaining order during the Philippine-American War. Okay? Next is on 1917. Ano ba yung nangyari sa 1917 na yan? Sa 1917, sir ma'am, dito kasi is nagkaroon na tayo ng Philippinization. Meaning, ito na yung transition na pinapahintulutan tayo ni US na gumawa ng sarili nating gobyerno. Yung mga Commonwealth dito, kasagsagan na yan dito. And dito is na naging first Filipino chief si Rafael Crame. Okay? Kaya nga meron tayong Camp Crame. Ito ay ano sa kanya? Hango sa pangalan ni Brigadier General Rafael Crame. That became the first Filipino chief, marking a chief towards the local leadership while binibuild pa ni US yung bansa natin. So after that 1917, punta tayo sa 1966. Sa 1966 naman, sir ma'am, dito nagawa yung RA 4864, no? Yung NAPOLCOM 1966 yan. Kaya nga ito itinawag na National Police Commission or ang tawag doon, Police Act of 1966. Ito yung RA 4864 that created the NAPOLCOM under the Office of the President. Okay? Pag dating sa 1975 ito yung kasagsagan ni martial law kasi yung martial law natin is ano yun 1972 to 1986 86 kasi yan yung pagkatapos, 'di ba? Yung sa EDSA Revolution. So dito si President Marcos po, ginawa niya yung PCINP. So in-integrate niya si Philippine Constabulary at yung Integrated National Police natin via Presidential Decree 765. Ito nabuo yung PD 765 creating the PC and INP, no? Placing it under sa Ministry of National Defense. So, nangyari first ni NAPOLCOM is under siya sa Office of the President, tapos pagdating dito sa 1975 nalipat siya sa Ministry of National Defense. Okay, after that dito na lang tayo 1986. Ano nangyari dyan? 1986 po 1986 nga. Ito yung people power natin. Okay, People Power Revolution, yung sa EDSA natin. Andito, binuo, sir ma'am, yung 1987 Constitution. Okay. Ito yung makasasayan na EDSA Revolution. Okay, and then in 1990, dito po, ginawa yung RA 6975. Yun, 1990 yan. The Department of Interior and Local Government Act of 1990, December 1990 yan, which is abolish yung PCINP, and dito na-create yung PNP natin. And then, during that time, si Cesar Nazareno po, so take note na lang kayo dyan, ang became the first PNP chief. Yung tawag natin kay Cesar Nazareno is first PNP chief and the last Philippine Constabulary chief. That is Cesar Nazareno. Okay, so take note lang kayo. Bahala na yung sulat natin dyan. So, sagot natin for number 6 is option 3. Next. Okay, drills pala tayo. Ibibigay ko din naman itong notes sa inyo. So, basahin na natin. Henry Allen, siya po yung first chief of the Philippine Constabulary. Rafael Crame, first Filipino Philippine Constabulary chief. And George Curie naman, siya yung first chief ng Manila Police Department, MPD. Yan. Manila's finest. Antonio Torres naman, first Filipino chief ng MPD. Okay? Basilio Valdez, siya yung AP chief during the World War II. Ferdinand Marcos Sr., deklara ng martial law, and yung nag-merge, no, yung PCINP. Ito yung PD 765. Corazon Aquino restored the democracy. On 1986, nagkaroon tayo ng people's power. And then 1987, na-create yung Philippine Constitution. Bagong Philippine Constitution. Fidel Ramos, former Philippine Constabulary Chief, and then became the President of the Philippines. One and only na naging PC Chief and naging President ng Pilipinas. Cesar Nazareno, first PNP Chief. Okay? John Vic Remulla, current events to. Siya yung current DKLG Secretary natin. Okay? Ex-officio chairman ng NAPOLCOM. Jose Rizal, executed by Spain. Yon. Andres Bonifacio, founded the Katipunan. Okay, led the revolution na laban sa mga Espanyol. Andito yung KKK. Magkamatanong yan ulit. Emilio Aguinaldo, first Philippine President. And then Emilio Jacinto naman, brains ng Katipunan. Marcelo del Pilar, propagandist. Yung La Solidaridad. Turning of Sidulas, symbolic start of the 1896 revolution. Ito yung kay Bonifacio. Punitin ng mga sidula. Supreme Court, highest judicial body. NAPOLCOM, Police Oversight, administered the PNP, PCINP naman, Marcos Era Merged Police Military Force, PNP, Civilian Police Force. Ano mga yung karakter ni PNP? National in scope and civilian in character. Pag sinabi natin Sandigan Bayan, ito yung court, anti-graft court. Ombudsman, sila yung nag-investigate ng mga government corruption, and then doon nila nililitis sa Sandigan Bayan. IAS po, Internal Affairs Services, watchdog ng Philippines, Police and Accountability Bodies. Itong dalawa, sila yung mga defense mechanism. Okay? PLEB, People's Law Enforcement, Discipline Mechanism pala. So, People's Law Enforcement Board, Police Accountability Bodies. Ano yung kaibahan sir ma'am, ni IAS and ni pleb. Si IAS po, pag sinabi natin IAS, internal. Pag sinabi natin pleb, external. Yung mga civilian complaints na yan. Okay, right? Question number 7. It represents the fight in 8 provinces whose ideals of courage and patriotism, the members of the national police, police must possess. Ano yung tamang sagot dyan? Service, honor, justice, traditional light race, it's and race, PNP shield, 3 stars. So, before that, ito yung PNP badge natin. Ito yung badge, and ito naman yung symbol. Okay? So, saan ba dyan? Represent the fight in 8 provinces. So, ano ba yung pinagbabasihan niya? Ito yung sa PNP symbol natin. Ito. Represent the 8 provinces. Ano ba kaya? And courage and patriotism, the members of national police. So, syempre, alam na natin, 8 sun rays. Obvious naman sa tanong natin, 8 provinces. So, tamang sagot natin dyan, sir ma'am, is the 8 sun rays po. Alright? So, ito yung definition nila. Yung Philippine Eagle kasi natin, yun yung tinatawag natin na symbol of swiftness and ferocity. Ito, natanong din ito ha, paulit-ulit natanong ito. Swiftness and ferocity. Habang yung PNP shield natin na ito po, ay nagsisimbol ng protection of all citizens. Okay? Yung, ano pa? Itong si Lapu-Lapu, sir ma'am, symbol niya po dito ay bravery ng Philippine National Police natin. Okay? Itong service, honor and justice, sinisimbol niya dito. Sorry, ito pala. Hindi pala ito badge. Hindi pala sa badge. Ano pala tayo? Sa PNP seal pala tayo. Hindi din ito symbol. Seal pala ito. Okay. Seal natin, sir ma'am. Ang service is, yung pag sinabi natin service, yan yung vibrant and cogent deeds. Tandaan natin ha. Pag service po, vibrant and cogent deeds. Pag honor naman, overriding criterion. Kailangan natin isa-isahin ito kasi baka itanong din ito sa inyo. And then justice naman, dispense of everyone whatever is due to him without favoritism and discrimination. Okay? Without favoritism, justice nga. Okay? So, 3 stars, that stands for the Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. And the 1,700 islands. Pag, ano pa? Itong laurel leaves na ito. Ano ba yung sinisimbolize ni laurel? Laurel leaves po, sir ma'am. Sila yung 14 leaves kasi yan eh. Yung sinisimbolize na is yung mga 14 regional commands. Laurel, 14 regional commands. Ano pa ba yung maalala ko? Anyway, may explanation nito sa baba. Ano ko lang kung ano yung naalala ko. Yung shield po, yung shield na ito, meron na pala kanina, protection. Symbol din siya ng vocabulary, ng ano natin, constabulary. Anyway, next question, which of the following symbols found in the Philippine badge? Swiftness and ferocity. Nasabi natin kanina. The Philippine Eagle. Philippine Monkey. Ito yung ano natin, Philippine Monkey Eating Eagle. Ito yung sa PNP badge natin. So, pag sinabi natin yung Philippine Monkey Eating Eagle, symbol of swiftness and ferocity. Tandaan nyo ito ha. Kung may time kayo i-memorize, please memorize this one. PNP shield natin, symbol of protection of all citizens. 3 stars, stand for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. 8 sun rays, represent the 8 provinces. Lapu-Lapu, symbolize the bravery of the Philippine National Police, service, honor, and justice. Service, cogent, bravery, and cogent deeds. Pag sinabi naman natin honor, could be the overriding criterion. Yon. Pag justice, distribution of everyone, whatever is due to him without favoritism or discrimination of any sort. Pag sinabi natin PNP seal naman, Lapu-Lapu hero dyan, the great Filipino hero of Mactan, the protect the West. Sir ma'am, magkaiba ha yung definition ni PNP badge and din ni PNP seal. So, tandaan nyo na lang din or be careful watchful sa tanong kung ano ba yung tinatanong PNP badge or PNP seal ba. Kasi si Lapu-Lapu Hero dito symbolize the bravery of the Philippine National Police. Habang dito naman, the great Filipino hero of Mactan, the prototype of the best and most noble in Filipino manhood, was a symbol of embodiment of all genuine attributes of leadership. Ito kasi yung natanong dati. Okay, courage and nationalism. In a way, pwede nyo naman i-comprehend yung tanong. Kung tao ba? Siyempre, kung tao, isa lang, sila Lapu-Lapu lang yung nandyan eh. So, ibig sabihin, Lapu-Lapu na yung sagot natin. Laurel, yun sinabi natin kanina, 14 regional commands. Symbol also siya ng honor and dignity. Being a member of the PNP. Pag shield po, symbol of the Philippine Constabulary, sinabi natin kanina. Ano ba yung Philippine Constabulary? Meron dito. No? Yan yung Organic Act number 175 enacted by the Commission on 1901. Okay, ito rin. The PC has carved out a large part of the glorious pages of the history and assisted as it proudly found and deservedly gaining its sing of the 92. Medals of Valor, Sir Ma'am, ito. Natanong ito dati the highest honor. Medals of Valor, the highest honor that the grateful Filipino nation can bestow on its gallant sons and the service of the Republic. Tandaan nyo yan ha. Medals of Valor. Okay? 3 stars, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and the 1,700 islands. Service, Honor, Justice. Yung sa PNP badge natin, iba yung definition. Habang dito naman is added distinct ideals. Added distinct ideals. Pag sun, symbolize the flowering, maturing, and ultimate realization of the glorious liberation of the Philippine Constabulary INP into a national police organization which is national in scope and civilian character. Ito rin, the traditional light rays, tinatanong rin ito. Represent the fighting jest, okay? Represent the fighting jest. Yung isa na nagre-represent ito, 8 sun rays kasi represent the 8 provinces. Abang yung traditional light rays natin represent the fighting just provinces whose ideals of the courage and patriotism the members of the national police must possess. Okay? Number 9, the Philippine government filed an appeal to the arbitral tribunal of the permanent court or of arbitration for the resolution of China's excessive maritime claims on which of the following: Sabah, Scarborough Shoal, Miangas Island, Kalayaan, or Spratly Island. So, yung tamang sagot natin dyan, Sir Ma'am, ay Scarborough Shoal. Okay? Scarborough Shoal po. Number 2. Wait lang. Number 2 po. Yan. Yan yung tamang sagot natin. Ano ba si Sabah? Sabah, ano yan eh? Yan yung Philippines and Malaysia na territorial issue. Yung Scarborough Shoal kasi, ito yon. That 2013 Philippine arbitration case or the PCA against China at the Permanent Court of Arbitration, ito yung PCA, explicitly challenge yung Philippines, yung challenge nila yung China sa claim nila sa West Philippine Sea. So, meron dalawa yon. Dalawa yung nasabit doon, Scarborough Shoal and then Spratly Islands. Balikan natin yung tanong ha. The Philippine government filed an appeal to the arbitral tribunal of the PCA for the resolution of China's excessive maritime claims. Okay, saan ba yon? Yan yung Scarborough Shoal or other term niya is Panatag Shoal. Baka kasi walang Scarborough Shoal, Panatag Shoal lang nandun. So, sagot nyo is yun pa rin. Kasi isa lang yan. The 2012 Chinese seizure of the traditional Filipino fishing ground triggered the legal case. 2012 pa nangyari yan. And then, dun sa PCA nangyari, China violated the Philippine rights by harassing the Filipino fishermen. Yan yung naging hatol. Ano naman yung Spratly Islands, Kalayaan Group? Ito yung focus on China's 9-dash line. Okay? Makita natin sa boundary ng ano natin or sa mga map, 'di ba? Nandun 'yan. The PCA declared that China's claim had no legal basis under the UN clause. Kasi yung binabasehan kasi ni China, bakit sila naging aggressive doon sa islands na 'yon is because yung mga ancient map nila. Okay, which is hindi siya makita natin, wala siyang basehan sa present or sa modern map na andito kasi ancient lang. Alam naman natin kahit nga sa mga lupa sa kabukiran natin, tinuturo-turo lang ng mga ninuno natin yung mga lupa nila. Yan yung ancient na binasihan ni China. So, note, if the question specifies excessive maritime claims, ang tamang sagot dyan ay, parang nagkaano yata ito. Nagkabaliktad. Okay? Nagkabaliktad yan. Excessive maritime claims po, yan yung Scarborough Shoal. Habang the Isis Island prompted the case, yan yung Spratly Islands. Sorry. Yun. So, Scarborough Shoal yung tamang sagot natin dyan, ha. Wait lang, tingnan natin. May computer ako dito. File to arbitral. Tingnan natin, ha. Kasi may search ko lang. Hindi nyo makikita kasi hindi ako ng camera. Okay, so ito yung nangyari kasi in January, ano bang pizza din dito? So, 2013. In January 2013 kasi, the Philippines filed its case, ito, on January 13 following a tense standoff between the Chinese and Philippines ships at Scarborough Shoal noong April 2012. Okay, so since the initiation of the arbitration case, China has concluded several massive reclamation on the Scarborough Shoal or the Panatag Shoal. Oh, kaya nga, I conclude talaga, nakabaliktad ito. So, this should be Scarborough Shoal and then ito yung Spratly Island. Alright? So, tamang sagot natin for number 9 is 2. Pag sinabi natin Sabah, Malaysia and ano yan? Malaysia and Philippines yan. Scarborough Shoal po, excessive maritime claims. Miangas Island, Miangas, sila yung sa Indonesia yan eh, si Miangas Island. Calayan Group of Islands, yan yung prompted the case. Yan. Tapos, hindi, si Calayan Group of Islands, siya yung part ni Spratly Island. So, Spratly Island, siya yung nag-prompt ng kaso doon sa South China Sea. Yan yung naging simula ba. Alright? So, next question, number 10. Ecological Solid Waste Management Act encourages proper segregation of solid waste materials. So, focusing on 3 major environmental practices known as 3Rs. So, lumabas to ng ilang ulit. Okay, so tamang sagot natin dito is reuse, reduce, and recycle. BCA. So, that is number 1. Yung tamang sagot natin dyan. So, RA 9003, also known as the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000, enacted on January 26, 2001, authored by Senator Loren Legarda, signed into law by the former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Purpose niya and yung mga features niya, it promotes the systematic, comprehensive, and ecological solid waste management. Focuses on the 3Rs, yung reduce, reuse, and recycle. Pag sinabi nating reduce, listen, yung mga waste generation. Pag sinabi nating reuse, use items again, no? Reuse, use items again. Pag recycle, ito yung process ng mga basura to create new materials. Re-recycle lang natin. And it mandates the segregation of waste of source, no? Yung household, schools, offices natin. Dito yung biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and yung non-hazard. Dito pa yung recyclable and special waste. Bans open dumping and burning of waste. So pinagbabawal yan under sa ESWM, no? ESWM din yan eh. ESWM, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of the 2000. Okay, so kung makikita nyo, sir, ma'am, 3R's principle, ito pala yun. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Sabihin ko lang dito, yung MRF natin, yung sa barangay, di ba? So, dapat lahat ng barangay, meron kayong material recovery facilities. is MRF na makita natin sa barangay natin. So dapat required yan, no, every barangay na ma-establish yung MRF. Dapat meron kayo yan. Baka tanungin kasi, it should be established in every barangay under the Republic Act 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. That is the Material Recovery Facilities or MRF. Alright, next question, number 11. Under the new rank of classification of the PNP, what is the equivalent rank of Police Officer 1? So, tamang sagot natin dito, Police Officer 1, that is Patrolman. Ito yung RA 11200, an act providing for rank classification in the Philippine National Police. So, pinilitan yung dati na ito, PO1, is PO1, di ba? Pinilitan siya ng bago. Noong February 8, 2019. So, nangyari, Police Officer 1 is naging Patrolman. Siya yung pinakababa. Habang yung pinakataas natin is Police Director General. Dito naman is Police General. PGen, no? PGen. General Marbil. Police Lieutenant General. Police Major General. So, madali lang naman yan i-memorize, ma'am. Pinakababa natin is Patrolman. Ito is Corporal. Ito lang yung mahirap, no? Itong first three, no? Kasi Patrolman. And then Police Corporal. And then ito is Police Staff Sergeant. Pagdating ni staff is naging Police Master Sergeant, Police Senior, and then Chief, Master, and Executive. Okay? Staff, Master, Senior, Chief, and Executive. Okay? Madali lang yan. Police Loy, Police Lieutenant, then Police Captain, Police Major, Police Lieutenant Colonel, Police Colonel, Police Brigadier General, Police Major General, Police Lieutenant General, Police General. Tandaan nyo lang yan, madali lang yan. Dito kayo, mas maganda kasi is nasa pataas, or pababa, sorry. Baba, pataas yung pag-memorize nyo. Basta pinakauna natin si Patrolman. Tapos si Patrolman is Police Corporal. So, ano na lang, take time na lang to memorize dyan. Kasi, ang ginagawa natin dito, ginagawa ni Napolcom dito, is tinatanong ito siya, doon sa arrangement, no, yung sa logical natin under kay Sir Elvin, di ba? Pinakita niyan yung mga rank na ito. Kasi tinatanong ito doon sa arrangement, word arrangement. So ito, natanong din ito, actual questions. So what is the correct insignia for a police lieutenant in the PNP? Correct rank insignia for Police Loy, Police Lieutenant. So 1 silver star, 2 silver stars. So ito yun siya. Police Lieutenant, yon. Yan, diamond pala. 1 silver star. Sorry. Wait lang. Tignan natin Baka nagkamali ako. Saan na yan? On muna natin ito. Okay. Search ko lang muna. Police. For a while na. Wait lang, nalalag pa tayo. Kasi natanong to minsan. Okay. Ito mga stars na ito kasi sir ma'am, ito yung mga gold stars yan. Okay? And then, itong sa police colonel, ito yung mga, wait lang. Okay. So, si Police General po is 4 silver stars, Police Lieutenant General 3 silver stars, Police Major General 2 silver stars, Police Brigadier General is 1 silver star. Ito naman si Police Colonel, ito yung mga gold stars para. Sorry. Hindi na ayos yung ano ko. Presentation ko. Ito is silver. Isa pa to. Ito naman is gold. At ito naman is bars. Okay? So, Police Captain po is 2 bars. 2 gold bars, and Police Lieutenant po is 1 gold bars. So, tama sa count natin dito is ito, sir ma'am. 1 gold bars. Gold star. Bars po yan, bars. Gold bars. Okay? So, mali din yung question natin. Tandaan natin ha, Police General, ito Brigadier General, silver po yan. Police Colonel to Police Major, gold star. Habang dito is gold bars. Alright? Okay. Ito yung memorize nyo kasi ito yung natanong dati. Okay? Chevron ba tawag dyan? Okay, drill ulit tayo. DILG Act of ano yung DILG Act? DILG Act of 1990. Ito yung DILG Act of 1990. Ito yung RA 6975. Creating the Philippine National Police under the DILG. PNP Reform and Reorganization Act. Ito yung RA 8551. Police Act, ito yung RA 4864 na nag-create sa POLCOM, Police Commission. PNP Rank Classification, ito yung 11,200, nakita natin kanina. PNP Height Equality Act, ito yung 11,549, mas binababa yung height ng aplikante. Pag 11, itong Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act, ito yung 9165. Okay? Right of persons under custodial investigation, ito yung kung nanonood kayo ng ng hearing, Senate hearing, di ba? Si DOJ Remulla, palagi niya ini-insist yung RA 9851. Rights of person under custodial investigation. And ito naman, Philippine Act on Crime Against International Humanitarian Law, ito yung 3019. Ito yung 9851. Hindi. Sorry. Ito yung 9851 pala. Ito yung 9851. Habang ito si right of person under custodial investigation, ito yung 7438. Sorry, ito pala yung sinasabi nila ni Boyeng, no? Ni Secretary Justice Remulla. Habang yung bawsi naman, ito yung 9262. Violence against women and children. Pag Code of Conduct 6713 yan. Alam natin yan. Okay? Meron pa yung ito, Anti-Graft and Corruption Practices, yung Republic Act 3019. Alright? So next question, number 12. What citizenship is acquired by or through legal process? So jus soli, jus sanguini, naturalization. Tama sagot natin dyan is C only, naturalization po. Number 2 yung tama sagot natin. RA 9139 on 2000, Administrative Naturalization Act for foreigners. Okay, naturalization, this is the legal process by which a foreigner acquires Philippine citizenship, no? Via judicial naturalization, batas yan. Jus soli, ito yung right of soil, grants citizenship by birthplace. Hindi ito na pinapractice ng Philippines. Pag Amerikano ka, pinanganak ka sa Philippines, hindi ka automatic na Filipino according sa Philippine law. Okay? Bakit? Yung binabisyan natin kasi is right of blood. Kahit saan ka pa pinanganak, kahit saang planeta pa yan, basta yung isa sa mga parents mo is Filipino, automatic meron ka ng dugong Filipino, Pinoy ka na. 1970 Constitution, matatagpuan natin ito, no? Sa Article 4 ng Constitution natin. Alright, next question, number 19. Who is the ex-officio chairman of the National Police Commission? So it is the same question po na who is the current Secretary of Interior and Local Government. So tamang sagot natin dyan is within John Vic or John Vic Remulla. So tamang sagot natin is number 5 po. Secretary Juanito Victor John Vic Remulla. Number 5 po yung tamang sagot natin dyan. Okay? So, mention ko lang no, yung ibang mga tao na dapat natin malaman. So, John Vic Remulla. So, yung sa DILG Secretary natin and ex-official chairman ng NAPOLCOM. Okay, Executive Secretary natin si Lucas Bersamin. Executive Secretary. ES. Ano pa? Gilberto Chudoro. Siya yung sa Department of National Defense. DOJ. Si Jesus Crispin, kapatid ito ni John Vic Remulla or si Buyeng Remulla. DOJ yan. DepEd, no, bago lang. Si Juan Edgardo Angara, Sonny Angara. Sino pa ba? DOTR, si Vince Dizon or si Vivencio Dizon. DSWD natin, dati kasi si Tulfo, ngayon ay si Rexlon Gatchalian. Yung National Security Advisor natin si Eduardo Anyo. Of course, no, the PNP chief natin, Pijen Romil Marbil. Dapat alam nyo yan. Kumilik natin si George Erwin Garcia. House Speaker natin, Martin Romualdez. Senate President natin, Francis Joseph Chis Escudero. Okay? So, next question, number 14. In which way the President and the Vice President be removed from office? Sa anong paraan lang daw sila pwedeng ma-remove sa office? So, tamang sagot natin dito is re-election, impeachment, recall, People's Initiative, or PI, or referendum. So, nandito sir ma'am, under sa Article 6, Section 2 ng 1987 Constitution, the President, Vice President, members of the Supreme Court, members of the CONSCON, the Ombudsman may be removed from office only by impeachment. Only by impeachment lang daw po. So, tama sagot natin is, for number 14 is 2. Only by impeachment yan. Okay, so discuss natin ano ba yung mga referendum, mga recall na yan. Under sa modes of democratic participation, referendum, ito yung process where the people approve or reject a law or part of it. Example, yung kapag ang Congress nagpasa ng batas na hindi gusto ng tao, pwede tayong mag-referendum. People's Initiative, PI, naalala nyo dati yung pinapapirma tayo, no? Yung naging kaso, conflict kay Martin Romualdez, yung PI. Okay, it's a process where people themselves propose a law or constitutional amendment by passing Congress. About ito sa constitutional amendment natin kasi dati yung mga nagkakandak ng PI daw na pinapamahagi sa atin, nasabi may kapalit na bigas, yan po ay para sa PI. Okay, and para yon kasi mayroon silang gustong i-amend sa resolution natin, sa constitution natin. Okay. Recall, pag sinabing recall, it is a method to remove a local elected official. So, hindi natin pwede itong gamitin sa mga national officials like President, BP, ito. Okay, dahil they can only be removed through impeachment. So, method to remove local elected officials like mayor, governor before their term ends. It requires a petition from a certain number of voters. Executive clemency powers naman. So ito palaging lumalabas to, no, sa kahit anong exam, kahit sa civil service, kahit sa qualifying exam ng BGMP, ng fire na ko ito dati. Naalala ko. So pardon, pag sinabi pardon, forgiveness of a crime granted by the president does not restore public office rights unless expressly stated. So, meron yan dalawa. Meron tayong absolute pardon, which is full forgiveness. Wala na talaga siyang kasalanan. Or conditional pardon, may term, no? May term lang. Commutation naman, reducing the severity of the punishment. Halimbawa, death to life imprisonment na naging, halimbawa, death yung hatol, so naging life imprisonment na lang. Reprieve naman, ito yung temporary postponement ng punishment ng isang tao. Halimbawa, ikaw ay natulan ng kamatayan, so dinidelay mo na yung execution sa'yo. Yan yung reprieve. Parole naman, ito yung conditional release of a prisoner before full sentence is served. Offenders monitored and must follow certain conditions. Yung mga parole. Pag amnesty, a blanket of forgiveness, oblivion. Talagang kinalimutan na, no, yung kasalanan. Requires concurrence ito ng Congress, of course. So, pursuant to RA 6970. So, tamang sagot natin to for number 14 is to. Abang number 15, pursuant to Republic Act 6975 or the DILG Act of 1990. The Philippine National Police anchored its beginning from the integration with the local police, Philippine Army, Kimpitay, Manila Police Department, or Philippine Constabulary. So, RA 6975, the Department of Interior and Local Government, DILG Act of 1990, was created through the merger of the Philippine Constabulary and the Integrated Philippine National Police. So, tamang sagot natin ito is number 5. Okay? So, na-enumerate naman natin yan kanina, di ba? Na yung PC po, established siya noong 1901 under sa US role. And naging kauna-unahang ngipin nito is si Henry Allen. And then, in years later po, during sa Philippinization, nagkaroon tayo ng first Filipino chief ng Philippine Constabulary, which is si Rafael Crame. So lalabas yung dalawang yan, Henry Allen and Rafael Crame, during sa exam natin. Okay, so other term kanina, no, terminologies kanina na maaring may tanong din, yung impeachment, na-explain natin yun kanina. Okay, ito yung remove of high-ranking officials. Martial law. Naalala ko lang kasi. Martial law, ito yung nag-declared by the president during rebellion. Yung mga public safety traits. Valid for 60 days lang siya and subject sa Congress. Na-review po siya ng Congress natin and ng Supreme Court. Pag sinabi natin EO, Executive Order, love your eye. Order issued by the President to manage operations of the executive branch. Pag sinabi natin proclamation. Ito naman ay isang deklarasyon ng presidente natin sa mga ceremony or setting dates and observances ng mga holidays, ganoon. AO natin, yung mga administrative order natin, itong issued by the President to mag-provide ng rules, guidelines sa naayon sa batas, habang yung mga memorandum circular o yung mga memorandum order, ito naman yung mga internal directives na ang CSA meron silang memorandum order para lang sa kanila, PNP meron silang memorandum order para lang din sa kanila. Alright. Number 16. It is the mechanism. Siyempre, discuss na natin to. Ang tamang sagot natin ito is criminal justice system. The criminal justice system, sir ma'am, is the formal mechanism through which society maintains social control by mga laws or norms, mga sinusunod, kailangan sundin, enforces laws through police, prosecutors, courts, administrative justice, yung mga trials, courts, rehabilitation, doon siya papasok. So, components ng 5 pillars, balikan na natin ulit. Pag sinabi natin law enforcement, dito papasok si PNP. Kasama na si PNP dyan, si NBI, dyan sila. Pag sinabi natin prosecution, dito yung Department of Justice, yung NPS, dyan sila matagpuan. Pag sinabi natin court, judiciary, Supreme Court, trial ko, Court of Appeals, MTC, RTC, METC, MTCTC, Municipal Circuit Trial Court, MCTC pala. Pag sinabi natin corrections, dito yung Bureau of Corrections, BGMP, dito sila. Pag sinabi natin community reintegration, baka matanong ulit si this reintegration, basta hindi ko maalala yung buong tanong, pero sa tanong na yun may keyword reintegration daw, so that is community. Next, katarungan pang barangay. Ano ba ito? It is the local mediation system in the Philippines, established under the Local Government Code, yung RA 7160, hindi ko nasalin, no? It is the primary purpose to resolve disputes at the barangay level. So ano ba yung para saan ba? So, decongest courts. Ibig sabihin, it reduce the minor cases in formal courts. Ma-minimize siya. Next is, promote yung mga amicable settlements. Ano ba yan? Encourage parties to resolve conflicts peacefully. No, walang bayaran, walang amicable lang. Amicable settlement lang. And lastly, preserve community harmony. Alright, ito lang. Harmony. So, strengthen kasi yung mga neighborly relations natin. Alright? So, yan yung purpose ng KIPI or Katarungang Pambarangay System. Next question, number 17. The power of the state which allows the government to take private property for public use for as long as the government pays just compensation is power of eminent domain. Natatanong din to. So, malay natin baka yung exam is police power or power of taxation yung tanong. So, ano ba yung inherent power of the state? Tatlo yan. Magkaiba ha, yung branch of government and din yung tatlong inherent power of the state. Pagka power of eminent domain, ito yung for public use. Dapat siya, tapos may bayad na just compensation, and then may legal procedure siya na dapat sinusunod ninyo. Okay, pag sinabi natin police power, the state's authority to enact laws protecting public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. Okay, ano ba yung ginagawa nila dyan? They regulate mga behavior property, gaya ng mga curfew, ganon, mga zoning laws. Example naman, binaban nila, nagkaroon nga tayo ng curfew hour. So, dyan yan, under sa police power. Pag sinabi naman natin power of eminent domain, the state's right to take property with just compensation, no? Basta yung requirement niya is for public purposes. Halimbawa, building roads, gagawa ng paraan, paaralan. So, of course, meron siyang payment with just compensation. Must be fair na yan naayon talaga sa assessor's value. Power of taxation naman, the state's power to impose charges, taxes to fund government operations. Pag sinabi ng power of taxation kasi ito ay compulsory and non-punitive. Pag sinabi natin compulsory, dapat gawin natin, and not punitive, hindi naman siya punishable. Bakit? Kasi yung tax natin hindi naman sila mga fines or punishment for crimes. Ito naman ay nakabase sa ability to pay natin. Diba? Meron tayong mga income tax bracket ibigay sa trabaho natin. Ano, for example, ito, yung mga income taxes, yung mga VAT sa binibili natin, no? Meron ganyan. Value added tax, meron sila ganyan. Okay, so that is the three inherent power of the state. Next question, number 18. Under the Philippine Constitution, which of the following is designated as protector of the people and the state? Protector of the people and the state under the Constitution. So, Article 2, Section 3, the Armed Forces of the Philippines is the protector. So, napaka-clear na yan. So, sagot natin for number 18 is 1. Its goal is to secure the sovereignty of the state and the integrity of the national territory. Pag Article 16 naman ng Section 6, the state shall establish and maintain one police force which shall be national scope and civilian character. So, yan yung binasa natin kanina. Yan yung PNP natin. Police, Philippine National Police. Question number 19. Who is the new chief of the Philippine National Police? Alam nyo na, si Romil Francisco Marbil po yan. The third highest government official of the country. Third, yan yung Senate President natin. So, ito yung ranking nila ha. From highest to lowest. Hindi naman siya lowest. Mga highest pa rin sila. President, VP, Senate President, House Speaker, Chief Justice. Okay? So, President natin, Bongbong Marcos Jr., VP, Sara Duterte, Senate President, Chis Escudero, House Speaker, Martin Romualdez, and then Chief Justice natin ay si Gismundo, Alexander Gismundo. Siya po yung Chief Justice natin. Alright, so for related items, question number for 21 to 25, ito ay storytelling naman na hindi nawawala sa NAPOLCOM. Minsan 15 items ito sila. So ito yung ni-measure ni NAPOLCOM yung ability natin about decision making. Inom muna tayo ng tubig. Okay, basahin natin. Alex and Lala were classmates from elementary through high school. Both are the eldest in their family of 3 children. Their parents have not completed elementary education and therefore have no skills for good paying jobs. Both families are struggling to make a living. Alex and Lala are now in their grade 11 when they became sweethearts and promised to each other that they study hard to finish their education to help their parents. A common friend, scenario, invited them to his birthday party where food and drinks were served. As the party went on, the partygoers became tipsier and rowdy. At this point, the celebrant offered them something which is Alex suspected, be careful of that word, as an illegal drug. Suspected pa. Pag sinabi na suspected, hindi siya unidentified pa, no? So, number 21 question, should Alex accept the offer? Tatanggapin nyo ba yung suspected illegal drug na yon? Okay, first is yes, because it is his first try. Mali na agad yan, sir ma'am, no? Diba, tandaan natin na practical decision making, which is yung valued alongside strict ethics natin. Yung ano ba yung pinapasukan natin? Gusto nating nag-take tayo ng PNP entrance exam kasi gusto natin maging police. So dito pa lang sinasala na ni Napolcom yung mga applicant nila. Kung sagot mo is yes because it is your first try, mali na siya agad, sir ma'am. Bakit? Ano pa yan eh? Suspected illegal drug mo lang yan. Pero malay natin is that is true. So illegal drug, no? So yes because it's your first try is wrong na agad. Technique natin dito, mas maganda yung ganito kasi, sir ma'am. Kasi mas madali natin sagutan yung mas madali natin piliin yung tamang sagot. Okay, example dito, na cross out mo na si option A. So hanapin mo si option A dito. Pag merong mga option A yan, X na natin yan. Halimbawa, number 4. So hindi na yan pwede. Kasi na cross out na natin si A eh. Okay? So we're left with option 1 and 5. So option B, ano ba? Yes, because he cannot refuse and embarrass the celebrant. Pwede. Yes, because everyone accepted it. Yes, pwede. No, because the item is illegal. Aha. Dito, yung sagot ng iba kasi is D and A. Kasi item is illegal daw. Tapos mag-apply ka ng police. Bakit mo tatanggapin yung isang bagay which is illegal drug naman? Pero, kaya ko nga sinirkulan itong bilog dito. Kasi, sir ma'am, suspected mo pa yon. So, no, because the item is illegal, alam mo na ba na illegal yung item na yun? Hindi pa naman, di ba? So, crush out mo si D. Automatic, pati na si A na crush out mo. No, because it does not make them any good. Totoo naman talaga. Kaso lang, suspected mo pa yung illegal drug na yun. So, tamang sagot natin is number 1. Tandaan natin, sir ma'am, when answering situational questions like this, tandaan natin yung conflict de-escalation. Ano ba yon? Yung scenario na yan, huwag mo nang i-escalate pa. Basahin ulit natin. Dito, a common friend met into his birthday party with food and drinks were served. At the party went on, the party goers became tipsier and rowdy na. So, kung tatanggihan mo pa yon na si celebrant mismo nag-offer sa'yo, baka mag-escalate pa yung scenario na andon. So, iniiwasan talaga natin sa mga situational questions is yung conflict de-escalation. And of course, aside from that, i-prioritize natin yung consistency. Kung ano yung sagot natin sa pinakauna is dapat ma-sustain natin siya sa dulo. Kasi itong situational questions kasi na ito ay ano yung nangyari sa una is posible din na yan yung gagawin niya sa pangalawa. Okay? So, basahin natin na suppose the celebrant instructed him to use the item, how should he handle the situation? Okay, so dito pa lang, sir ma'am, kung sinagot natin is si D and A, no because the item is illegal, no because it does not make them any good. So dapat sinabi dito na may option din dapat, no, na hindi mo tinanggap. Pero dito kasi is natanggap mo lahat, no? And then mismo pa sa tanong is nakasaad pa na suppose the celebrant instructed him to use the item. Suppose the celebrant instructed you to use the item, it means na tinanggap mo talaga yung item na yun. Alright? So, tama si A and B sa number 21. Okay? Tama siya dyan. So, ano ba yung gagawin mo? Suppose the celebrant instructed you to use the item. How should you handle the situation? Pretend that Lala is so tipsy and he had to accompany her to the washroom. Yes, tama yan. Pwede mong gawin yan. Promise that he will use it later. Kung suspected mo, tama. Pag totoong drug, hindi tama. Pero ano ba yung nandun sa scenario? Suspected mo pa lang. And ano yung natin, in-avoid natin? Conflict de-escalation. And then, ano nga sila? Tipsier and Rody. Mga lasing na sila. Okay, so promise you will use it later. Pwede rin siya. Hindi masyadong pwede, pero pwede. Throw it away when no one is looking. Pwede din. Use it later for the sake of having experience. Automatic crash out na natin. So number 1, crash out. Number 4, crash out. So we're left with 2, 3, 5. Keep it in his pocket so you can check it later what is all about. Pwede rin. Tama rin siya. So ano ba yung pinakatama natin? See only, throw it away when no one is looking. Pero sir ma'am, consider natin dito yung option number A. First pa lang mabasa natin na pretend that Lala is tipsy. Okay? Kasi sinabihan ka ng celebrant na use the item. Sabihan ka na niya. So ano pa ba? Ano pa ba yung gagawin mo? So pwede kang mag-pretend na Lala is so tipsy and they had to accompany her to the washroom. So correct, option A is correct siya actually. Hindi natin siya pwedeng i-cross out. So, siya yung isa sa safest exit strategy. Alright? And promise that he will use it later. Pwede mong ma-delay. I'll do it later, bye. Sabihin mong ganyan. So, pwede rin siya. Dispose secretly. Okay. Pag walang nakakita, pwede mong throw it away. Pwede mong ihagis. Ano sabihin mo, natikman ko na. Okay, so pwede siya. So, ABC, sir ma'am, is correct. Pag C lang kasi, is parang ano naman, ano ba yung gagawin mo na in-instructionan ka na on the spot ni celebrant. So, ano pa ba? Ito-throw it away mo pa ba? Hindi na, syempre. So, C is wrong actually. Wrong siya, nga siya lang. So, dapat kasi may series of action na gagawin ka. So, first action na gagawin mo is A. Pretend na tipsy na yung kasama mo. Tapos B naman, promise nga gamitin mo yan later. And C, throw it away when no one's looking. Papunta mo pa lang sa bathroom, throw it mo na. Alright? Ano yung ina-avoid natin? Conflict de-escalate. Hindi natin pwedeng escalate yung conflict na yon. Manatiling kalmado. Upon Alex return from the washroom. Yun. Sabi ko nga na this is series of action. Ano yung ginagawa mo sa first, dapat yan din yung nangyayari sa susunod na scenario. So, suppose return from washroom. So, ibig sabihin, na-confirm natin na nag-pretend ka talaga na sila is tipsy and then kailangan mo siya yung company doon sa washroom. Alright? So, na-confirm naman dito. So, correct si option number 2 para sa 22. Upon Alex return from the washroom, the partygoers become tipsier and enjoying the party. As more drinks came, the celebrant offered another item to them. Ano ba yon? How should he handle the situation? Accept but secretly throw it? Tama ba? Si A, Jan, sir ma'am, accept mo, throw it naman. Okay, pagpalagay natin. Pretend that he and Lala are so tipsy that they fell on the floor. Pwede rin, no? Pwede rin siya actually. Accept but keep it inside this pocket. Okay. Pwede rin. Reject because he's so tipsy with severe headache. Okay. Pwede. Actually, si D pa lang. No? Kasi na-confirm mo na, sir ma'am or baka ano pa ba, nakita mo na, nakapunta ka na kasi doon sa washroom, so malamang na-confirm mo na yung item na yon. So, reject because she is tipsy. Ano pa lang, na-confirm mo pa lang, or ano siya, excellent choice siya. It is a polite situational excuse that avoids yung conflict and clearly avoids involvement. Pag A kasi, accept it but secretly throw it, acceptable siya if the goal natin is yung conflict ma-avoid natin plus safest disposal, but still risky. Accepting it reinforces the celebrant's behavior agad, no? Letter B, pretend that he and Lala are so tipsy-dizzy that they fell on the floor. Pwede siya, but kung mag-pretend ka lang na tipsy na and ano kayo sa floor, so delikado din siya actually. So falling might attract attention, cause harm, and dramatic naman, no? Mag-pretend ka na natutumba ka na, ganun. accept but keep it inside his pocket. Okay din, safer than using it. Pwede rin siyang gamitin. But keeping drugs may rest constructive position under the law. Okay? Reject because he's tipsy with severe headache. Ito yung pinaka-excellent nga choice. A, reject so the celebrant could offer it to others. Lalong mali si A, sir, ma'am. Reject to, kung alam mo na suspected mo na drug yon, tapos ni-reject mo para ma-offer sa iba, so marang inaano mo rin yung drug na yon. Okay? So, parang ano mo rin, anong tawag dyan? Gusto mo rin na maano nila. Okay? Alam mo nang mali, tapos ano mo pa sa iba. So, mas lalong mali. So, A is wrong. Okay? B and D, pretend that he and Lala, tapos D naman is reject. Conflict, di ba? So, remove na natin si B and D. A and C, accept but secretly throw it. Tapos C naman, accept but keep it inside your pocket. Conflict din, di ba? A, B, C, accept but secretly throw it nga. At si C din, accept but keep it inside your pocket. Conflict na conflict. So, natira natin is si option D. No? So, number 23 po, correct answer natin is 4. Next question, Alex felt that they had more than enough drinks, so he asked permission from the celebrant to bring Lala home. They struggled to walk home until both arrived at Lala's house. She asked Alex to stay and accompany her since her parents were still out. Then, Lala started to get sweeter and romantic toward Alex. She started kissing him and assured him that she's willing to give everything to prove her love to him. So, ano yung gagawin mo if you were Alex? A, avoid Lala's romantic advances out of respect for your parents. Yes, napakatamang gawain yan. Avoid because of their promise and dream to finish their studies. Yes. Avoid because it is not right for them. Yes. Give in. After all, it just the first time. Automatic na agad si D. Remove na natin. Okay. Give in so that automatic, mali na yan. So, na-remove na natin din. Okay, so A lang. Avoid Lala's romantic advances out of respect for your parents. It shows naman maturity and value for boundaries, reflects moral integrity. Tama siya actually. So B naman, avoid because of their promise and dream to finish their studies. It connects to the main message nung nandun sa pinakaunang story natin, that shared goal reminds of what is truly important. And avoid because it is not right for them is a strong moral reasoning, knowing that what's wrong even if tempting. So, it applies yung emotional intelligence and self-control. So, pinakatamang sagot natin ito, complete and comprehensive, is option number 5. Okay, so for 24, option number 5. The following day, you noticed that Lala was avoiding you. When pressure to talk, she told you that you are not good enough for her and asked you for a cooling off period. So, how should you handle the situation? Explain to her the reasons behind your behavior. Tama. Remind her about your promises and dreams for both of you and your parents, your families. Tama. Reiterate her action was out of respect for her and her parents. Yes. Accept her offer for calling off. Dito pa lang, sir, ma'am, sa accept her offer. Para bang hindi mo na pinaglaban baga yung stance mo na yon. So, option D, for me, should be remove that one. Accept her offer for calling off. Parang mali naman, di ba? Okay? Dito pa lang makita mo na explain to her the reasons behind your behavior is tama. Pag accept her offer for calling off is mali. So, all of the above is wrong. And then, sinabi natin na si D dapat is wrong din. So, D and D is wrong. Alright? So, ano pa ba? Accept and maybe reflect on the kind of relationship you have with her. Wala, mali na agad. And then, in the option naman, wala naman natirang A. So, natira natin is C, E, and B, and B and C. So, ano ba yung tamang sagot natin dito? So, para dito, sir, ma'am, ang tamang sagot natin is option number wala pa. Sorry. Tamang sagot natin dito is option A and B only. So, Lala has asked for a calling off period and explained that Alex is not good enough for her. Ikaw daw hindi ka daw good enough para sa kanya. This likely due to Alex, yung mga ginawa mo nung nakaraang gabi na yon, nag-resisted ka sa mga romantic advances ni Lala. Okay? So, tamang sagot dito natin is option A and B. are the most effective choices because it show the maturity, communication, and a commitment to their shared future. Alex should first explain your reasoning, bakit mo nagawa yon, and then remind Lala that about sa mga dreams ninyo. Okay? So, B and C kasi is parang parehas lang, no? Mention natin yung parents dito, families. Parang ano lang, pares lang sila. So, letter C, the reaction was out of respect for her and your parents. Pwede rin, pero kulang, di ba? Doon pa lang sa first scenario natin na para sa mga dreams niyo in the future. So, dapat include natin si B. Okay? And then, si B kasi, kung may B only, okay na sana yon. Tama na sana yon. Kasi si B and C is redundant na kasi. May families, tapos may parents pa na andito. So, si B pa lang sapat na. Since walang B dyan, and B only, so tama sa natin is A. Kasi tama din naman. Explain mo yung reasons, bakit mo nagawa yon. Tapos, i-remind mo lang siya about sa mga promises and dreams ninyo. Alright? So, that's the end of 5 question. So, correct answer dyan is 3. How about related items number 26 to 30? Ito, paulit-ulit din na lumabas to during sa exam. Aris is an applicant for PNP examination. During the examination day, he was informed that his name was not included among those applicants who will take the exam. He informed Mario, his cousin, who is on the line, about his situation and even showed him his admission slip. Mario advised him to fall in line behind him and assured that he will work it out with the secretariat whom he knows so well. So, should Aris accept the offer? Why? Diba? Yes, because he has an admission slip. Mali na yan agad. Bakit, sir, ma'am? Merong nagfo-fall in line dyan sa likod ninyo. Okay, so for me, letter A is wrong already. Okay, yes, because yung mga yes, automatic i-wrong na natin yan. Sir, ma'am. Okay? Given undue advantage na nandun. No, because it will cause delay to other applicants behind them. Yes, tama. Yung rason na yan. Kasi nakapila ka naman eh. Bakit ka pa pupunta dun sa unahan? No, because you will be given undue advantage over those who line up earlier. Yes. And then, no, because he can directly inform the secretariat and ask for his room assignment. Si letter A, sir, ma'am, para lang din siyang pumunta ka dun sa unahan. No? Yung nag-given ka din ng mga undue advantage dun sa mga nakapila na mas nauna pa sa'yo. So, letter A is wrong already. So, tingnan natin yung mga options. Remove na natin yung na-crash out natin. May A, remove na natin. May E na eagle, remove din natin. So, natira tayo is 1 and 2. No, because it will cause delay to other applicants. Yung C kasi, because it will cause delay. Tama yun, fact yun. And D naman, you will give undue advantage for others. Reason is will be accepted to take the exam. Yung mga nakalinya nga. Sir, ma'am, hindi redundant si C and D. Bakit? Kasi it will cause delay to other applicants. Delay lang naman eh. Hindi ka naman pumunta doon para umuna kasi parang may tinatanong ka lang doon kasi. No? And then, given undue advantage, kung nag-line up ka, doon na agad talaga sa kanya. So, for this one, correct answer natin should C and D. Option number 2 or number 26. Okay? How about the next scenario? During the examination, both of them are assigned to seats adjacent to each other. The proctor announced that cheating is an outright disqualification and everything inside the room is being recorded. Mario asked Aris for answers if the proctor is not looking. Okay, should Aris share his answers to Mario considering that he offered help? Why? Yes, because yung mga yes pa lang na ganyan. Ano yung pinapasukan natin, gusto natin maging police, and then yung pagiging police, meron silang values, ethical values na sinusunod. So, yung mga maling gawain pa lang, i-remove na natin. Okay? No, because it might cause their disqualifications is correct. No, because everything is recorded is announced by the proctor, correct. No, because they are applying for a profession that required integrity. So, yun pa lang, tama na yung C, D, and E na yun. Complete na yun. Okay? So, tama sagot natin for 27 is 4. Okay, next question number 28. Results of the test showed that Aris passed while Mario failed. Everyone in their clan family congratulates them because Mario claimed that he also passed. His name was not listed because he has to comply with certain requirements. Should Aris tell his clan family the truth? Why? Yes, because the family deserves to know the truth. Yes, because he wants to save Mario from further shame, embarrassment if the family discovers. No, because it's Mario's personal business. No, because Mario will be hurt and may cause animosity between them. No, because Aris has no personal knowledge on the ability of Mario's claim is the correct, pinaka-correct answers. Okay. Yes, because the family deserves the truth. And yes, because he wants to save Mario from further shame, embarrassment. So, ma'am, balikan natin yung first scenario. He informed Mario, his cousin, who is on the line about the situation. Even showed him, I advised him to fall in line, assured that he will work out with the secretariat whom he knows so well. So, baka tinanong ni Mario, yung kilala niya secretariat na talagang kilala niya, bakit hindi sila nasama doon? So, baka sinabi ng secretariat na, sir, ano kasi, delay yung result ninyo, under review pa. So, may possibility na pasa ka. Okay, so, yes, because your family is the truth, conflict siya dito sa letter A kasi pinakatotoong nangyari, pinakatamang gagawin mo is letter A talaga. No, because wala kang personal knowledge sa validity ni Mario. Hindi ka naman Napolcom eh. Okay? So, A is correct already, sir, ma'am. No? A and B. Yes, because the family should know the truth. Yes, because you want to save Mario. Tama siya actually kung alam mo talaga yung totoong nangyari. Okay? So, wag mong pangunahan. C and D, no because it's Mario's personal business. Tapos no because Aris has no personal knowledge of the validity of Mario's claim. Tama sila actually, pero si A palang complete package na, sir, ma'am. Oo. Now, even though the results have been posted, Aris on the other side still don't know anything about the claim of Mario. Okay, bakit naman sasabihin ni Mario yun kung wala siyang pagbabasihan? Alright? So for number 28, 5 po is the correct answer. Number 29, after a month, Mario showed his certificate of eligibility. Yun naman pala, to Aris and their family. They both applied for patrolman recruitment at Police Regional Office 3. Mario confided to Aris that his certificate of eligibility is not authentic. Yun lang. Sinabi ni Mario na hindi pala totoo yung certificate of eligibility niya. However, Mario passed the initial screening, your BMI and PAT. But si Aris ang saklap, hindi nakapasa. Kung ikaw si Aris, ano ba yung gagawin mo? Keep my silence because he is my cousin. Next is write an anonymous letter to the Regional Director of Police Regional Office 3 that Mario's eligibility is fake. C, advise Mario not to pursue his application and do his best in the next examination. D, ask monetary assistance from Mario for my gym workout program to improve my BI. Tell the truth to the secretariat of the Pro 3 recruitment of the selection committee, RAC. Ano yung gagawin natin dyan? So, sir, ma'am, option A, keep my silence because he's my cousin. This may feel like an option driven by family loyalty, but allowing Mario to proceed with a fake certificate could jeopardize both your futures in the PNP because you already know, and then the risk is even more greater for Mario when he is still pursuing his application because later on when it will be discovered by the PNP, it will make more impact to the application of Mario and may result to the disqualification of Mario's application lifetime. Alright? So, A is wrong. Okay? So, remove natin yung may A. B, write anonymous letter to the Regional Director of Pro 3 that Mario's eligibility is fake. That is correct, actually. But it might cause unnecessary conflict and doesn't directly resolve the issue at hand. It could also raise questions about why Aris choose anonymity. Alright? So, pwede siya, but hindi siya mas gaanong pwede. Okay? So, consider lang natin na pwede. Advise Mario not to pursue his application for now. Do his business examination. That is the very correct answers. Letter C, actually. And then, ask monetary assistance from Mario. Ask monetary assistance. Hindi naman yan kasalanan ni Mario, kasalanan mo naman. So, meaning, you're asking monetary assistance for you to keep silence. So, parang dyan pa lang, sir, ma'am, there's corruption. Beginning. So, hindi gusto ni Napolcom yung ganyan. So, letter D should be removed. So, B and D remove, C and D remove. So, with that, we have the correct answer, C and A. Walang ibang option. So C and A is correct. Advise Mario not to pursue, tapos tell the truth to the secretariat of the Pro 3. Kaya yung secretariat na kilalang kilala mismo ni Mario. Sabihin mo sa kanya, because he or she will advise Mario, no, na you should take the next examination. Alright? Para yung pag-apply ni Mario is hindi pa magiging disqualified. Kasi kilalang kilala niya naman yung secretariat na yun. Alright? So for number 29, option number 5 should be the correct answer. Last question, number 30. Mario has just turned 29 years old. He knows very well that the maximum age requirement for appointment in the PNP is 30. If you were Mario, what will you do? Apply for age waiver, proceed with my application, and let God do the rest. Retake NAPOL Common or other eligibility examinations. Yes, correct. Ito si letter C, sir, ma'am. Retake mo yung examination, and then proceed with my application because of an assurance of help from insider. Sir, ma'am, kahit totoo yan, but with the purpose of exams and our ethics, become a proud member of the PNP, crash out natin. Okay, so may D, crash out. Pasensya na sa nagmiminta ng isda na sa ano natin, background natin. Stop my patrolman application and apply to non-uniform personnel. Position appropriate to my qualification. So, pwede rin. Actually, si A. So, ito lang. If you followed the story, Mario's eligibility is fake, no? So, 2 and 4, B and D can be removed from choices already. Alright? So, pwede na natin i-remove si B, itong proceed, and D. Okay? So, remove na natin yan. Si B na ganyan. And then, 3 and B, itong si C and A, hindi rin sila mag-fit. Right? Bakit? It's your dream to become a police ever since doon pa lang sa first stance ng story natin. Okay? So, stop my patrolman application and apply to non-UP is indeed, hindi siya masyadong, kung compare natin kay A and C na apply for age waiver and NAPOLCOM, tama na siya. C and A, pwede rin retake, tapos stop my patrolman application. Conflict din, right? Conflict yan sila. So, correct answer natin is A and C. Sorry, ma'am. Number 5. Okay, so that just end our 30 items. And then, for the verbal reasoning, it should be discussed live, while the numerical reasoning and logical reasoning should be discussed, recorded. Okay? So, may link tayo for the explanation of this, ng verbal, ng numerical and ng logical. So, paki-follow na lang din, sir, ma'am. Thank you, and have a good day, everyone.